Why bodies and boundaries? Welcome to Bodies and Boundaries. I am Jalal Nazari. Before I dig into why bodies and boundaries and why this channel, I want to briefly talk about something personal. Since the day I left Afghanistan, I have been living with a sense of guilt and embarrassment because of what Afghanistani women have been going through under the Taliban rule, and I haven't been able to do anything about it. As Afghanistani men, we were far more privileged than women in Afghanistan, and we are partially responsible for what is happening there. If we want any sort of freedom or dignity, we must put Afghanistani women's movement at the forefront of our advocacy. Back to bodies and boundaries. I decided to create a space to explore Afghanistani women's identity, culture, religion, and the many forces that shape their lives. This space is not about telling Afghanistani women's stories for them, but rather it is about illuminating their power, resilience, and the complexities of identity and belonging. I chose this name because bodies and boundaries are where power becomes visible. Afghanistani women's bodies have always been a site of control. Through dress codes, mobility restrictions, family expectations, and public life. And boundaries, whether cultural, religious, political, or personal, shape what women can do, who they can be, and how they survive. When I say bodies, I mean lived experience. A body is not just a physical thing, it's a story. It carries history, trauma, resilience, and identity. And boundaries are more than walls or borders. Boundaries are rules, expectations, and limitations that shape our lives, sometimes quietly, sometimes painfully. They can protect people by creating safety, respect, and personal space, but they can also restrict freedom when they become tools of control, exclusion, or violence. When boundaries are imposed on bodies, especially women's bodies, they can become a way to limit autonomy, deny rights, and silence voices. So, together, bodies and boundaries is a way to understand how Afghanistani women live in a world that tries to define them. It's about how women navigate power, how they resist, and how they create meaning in their lives. Here's what you can expect from this channel. Discussions on identity and culture, religion, migration and diaspora experiences, women's resistance and resilience, stories, research and reflections, conversations that challenge stereotypes. Sometimes I'll share personal reflections. Sometimes I will analyze culture, literature, language, and history. Sometimes I'll share stories from women who want to speak. I think this channel matters because Afghanistani women are often spoken about, not listened to. I want to create a space where their voices and experiences can be understood with dignity and complexity. If you're interested in these topics, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in next video.